What's cooking? What's popping? It's your boy, Pad Chennington, back at the crib. Econ weekend is over. It was a crazy weekend. There was a whole lot to talk about. And just like the first one, I didn't go to Electronicon too, but the first one, when that was over, I was like, I really want to make a big recap video, and I did that all those years ago. So I thought it would just be the right thing to do another one. And this one, like, there's just so much more to talk about, I feel, than the first one.
I know it's hot and sweaty, but make some noise, come on!
And what's really cool about all of these Electronicons is it still feels like it's an experiment for George and 100% Electronica to just figure out what they really want this to be at the end. And this is the third installment, and it just feels like every single one has been super different. Even though I didn't go to the second one, from what I've seen and what I hear, it seems like they're all really different. And I feel like it's just, you know, George trying to figure out how he really wants this thing to be. And I'm just loving the ride. And I think so many more people enjoyed it as well. It was an amazing weekend. There's so much to talk about. And I'm going to try to remember everything that I want to talk about. I'm really going to start from the beginning. Like, the moment I got out of work on Thursday is when I'm going to start. And then we'll go from there. And yeah, my weekend like didn't really end until Monday night in a way, because I ended up going to the Jets game on Monday, and that's like after that game when I got home, that's when I really slept for the first time. And yeah, there's just a lot to unpack. So this is gonna be a really long video. Should be doing this as a live premiere right now, so there should be a chat. If you're in the chat and you were at Econ, please feel free to just talk about your memories of the event, everything you did, your favorite sets, people you met, whatever it is. And if you didn't, there's still so much discussion to be had of where the next Econ could be, what artists you'd want to see in another installment of this festival. And so yeah, there's a whole bunch to talk about. And I guess before we even begin, if you don't know what Electronicon is, it's this huge like Vaporwave festival. I know this installment of it, there was some artists on there that you wouldn't say were like inherently Vaporwave, but who gives a shit? Like George really stacked this lineup this year, and this one was it just felt like the most grand out of any other one that he's put on. I mean, if you look at the lineup, I'll flash it on the screen. There really are some heavy hitters on this lineup. And when George announced the festival a couple months ago, and I saw who he initially introduced that were gonna play at the event, I was like mind blown. Desert Sand Feels Warm at Night, one of my favorite artists I think ever, flying all the way overseas, to get to Econ and do a set. That was awesome. And then seeing like Giant Claw on that lineup. Just luxury elite, like just crazy, mind-blowing shit. Getting to Econ, it's like building up to it. You don't feel like it's real. Like, you don't think like, I'm gonna go see luxury elite, I'm not gonna go see Desert Sand. Like, it just doesn't feel like it could be a real thing, because everything is so inherently on the internet for so long, and then you get there and it's real. Like, people exist. Like, these people are real people, and starstruck every time. It gets me every time. And yeah, so without further ado, let's begin. Thank you for joining me today. It's gonna be a long video, so get cozy. Let's start a discussion up in the chat. I don't know. I think the best thing about Econ and what it really makes you realize is how important community is, and just we are meant to socialize, and we are meant to be with people and friends and make new friends and just celebrate life and music and dancing and just letting loose. And I don't know, it's like I feel like I don't want Econ weekend to end, so like let's use this chat as like one more fucking time to just, I don't know, hang out or whatever. But this is only the beginning. I've been saying this since Econ 1. It's really only the beginning. I have a lot of stuff in the works too, in regards to live stuff and everything, so I'm sure we'll all meet up again. But let's talk about Electronicon 3. That's why we're all here. And let's start all the way from the beginning. So Thursday, I got out of work, and I was actually going to be performing twice Electronicon weekend. I was going to be performing at the Tape Swap in Brooklyn, which was being held by Utopia District. The Tape Swap is an event that happens every single Electronicon, and I remember the first one, going there for the first Electronicon. It felt like kind of like everyone was a little shy, I guess. Everyone was quiet, and it was still popping. Like, it was a great time, but this one was just like everybody was, I don't know, just like ready to just be with other people, and like people that you've worked with and artists you've collabed with or labels you've purchased stuff from. Everyone was just really excited to be there. And so I played there. I was playing at the Tape Swap, and then I was also playing at an event venue called Club Genki. It's a bar in Brooklyn, and that was another stacked lineup. I was really excited to be on that bill, and I had two shows. So I had the Tape Swap show I was performing at, and then Sunday I was doing the Club Genki show, and then Saturday was Electronicon 3. So long ass weekend. Like, there's no rest here. And Thursday I get out of work. I'm like, let me practice my sets one more time. I run them through, everything sounds good, everything's all right. And Thursday wasn't really that eventful. Like, I don't know, I was just really excited for the next day. I got all my merch ready because I was gonna have a Kats Kill Records booth at the Tape Swap. So that was really fun. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I prepared a bunch of cassettes and vinyl. And I realized I had no Pad merch. Like, I have no merch for myself besides whatever I have on the little bar under my YouTube videos that I really haven't updated in forever. So I thought it'd be cool to maybe get some art prints done. My artwork that you've seen for my logo, my little character, and then also the Kats Kill Records logo was done by Elena Fortune, who's an awesome artist. I will link their work in the description below. And yeah, I brought these art prints, I signed them, I hand numbered them. I also have them for sale on the Kats Kill Records Bandcamp if anybody wants them. If you buy one, I'll write whatever you want. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I brought that. I brought a bunch of stuff. So we loaded the car up, and my buddy Ryan, who does a lot of photography in the scene, he's done photos for Econ 1, Econ 2. He's done a lot of photos for me for Kats Kill Records. He was gonna be at the Tape Swap. We were gonna meet up, and he was gonna crash by me all weekend. So I get to the Tape Swap, we get there around like 12 o'clock. You know, getting into Brooklyn, the BQE is just like a pain in the ass. So like, and I'm complaining like that there was traffic, but at the same time, like, I met people at the Tape Swap. They were like, yeah, I came here from Germany. Shout out to Malbert, who is in the Club Chennington Discord server and an awesome artist, really, really cool dude that I met. Came all the way from Berlin. So, you know, I'm complaining like it took me 2 hours to get there in traffic, and then some of these people are, you know, traveling the whole day just to get here. It takes me like 2 hours to get there. We pull up in the front, and I must have got there maybe at like a little after 12, and it was already packed. Like, there was people outside kind of like pouring out, and then even pulling up, you could see like just through the door that there was just tables of labels and, you know, merch, and like I was so excited to get inside and just like, I don't know, see what was going on. So I pull up, and I get out of the car, I get all the merch, I run it through. I was like, I'm gonna go bring all the merch inside, set a little booth up, then go back to the car, have my fiance go inside, watch the stuff, and then I'll go park or whatever. So I get out of my car, I grab like whatever merch I can, and I walk in, and like, I just see so many people that I haven't seen in so long, like just really good friends that I've met and made in the scene, and then just people that I've known online forever, but I never met. And I'm just like, I gotta get my merch to the back. Like, let me drop this off first, and then I'll come by and like say hi to everybody. But like, it was like pumped. Everybody was hyped up, and I move all my merch to the back. I take the car, I go park it around the block. I found parking pretty easily, which was nice. You really don't get that in New York, so that was definitely a nice little touch. I walk back, and I go in, and I think the first person I saw, it might have been 3D Blast again. Like, the first person I saw at the first Tape Swap was 3D Blast, and I think it was either him or Dan Mason. There was like a whole circle of, you know, those knuckleheads just hanging out outside, and I was like, all right, let me jump in. So just saying hi to people I haven't seen in a long time, and it was great. It was really, like, I just knew right there that it was gonna be such a fun weekend. I go inside, and I'm walking past some of the booths, and I see like John from Business Casual. I see Wizard of Loneliness. First Class Collective. I kept walking. I walked past, Geometric Lullaby, seeing Dennis. I was actually texting Dennis on the way in, and he was just like, "It's so hot in here," and I was like, "Yeah, it's a Vaporwave event. Like, it's gonna be hot as fuck in there." So
I know it's hot and sweaty, but make some noise. Come on.
Which, like, whatever. Luckily, I was able to set up in the back of the art gallery. It was the living gallery or something. I forget what it was called. I go through the living gallery, and I get to the back, and no one's really outside. There was like one other label that set up there, I think, at the time, and it was just so much cooler outside than inside. So I was like, let me, set up. So me and Tiff started setting up, and as the time went on, more and more people started showing up. Just like people that I've never met before in the scene, which was really cool. I've seen like Data Girl and Nano come in, and that was awesome. People that I've seen before as well. Like later on in the day, Fiber and Discoholic showed up, and that whole crew. Power PCME, who I haven't seen in a while. Actually, I did see Power PCME recently. We did a show in Philly a little while ago. But just, seeing everybody is always great. And I set up my Kats Kill Records stuff, set up a little booth, brought some beers with us. Like, it was just a great time. And just the tape swap, really, what it comes down to, it was just a great way to socialize with people you haven't seen in a while and friends that you've just never met. And my set that day, there was just everybody who performed was amazing. There was so much hype. Everybody was having a great time. But our chunk of it was like me, it was 3D Blast, Frank JFC, and then me at, for 4 o'clock. We each had 20 minutes or something. So I was just like, that's the power hour right there. Like, that's gonna be fun. And it was 3D Blast. People were rocking for a set. Frank JFC doing vocals was great. And then I went on at 4:50, and that was a really fun set. There's some really cool footage of it, which I watched. I want to go back so bad. And thanks everyone for coming. Whoever was there and watched that set. It was a lot of fun. And I swear to God, Heart Shaped Brain by Enrail. I was talking to Enrail when I got there, and that song, I think I put it in at least 50% of my sets at this point. It is such a damn good track, and I got a lot to say about Enrail and iClick as we get into this video. There's more to come about all that, but that was fun. I dropped Heart Shaped Brain, and Enrail was in the front. I was like, where's Enrail at or something? I don't know. Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Got really hungry, so we went to the bodega down the street, got a sandwich, and they had the big beers. In Jersey, there's no liquor in convenience stores or corner stores or whatever, so I always forget when I go into New York. So it was a nice touch. So came back with some Coronas, we had a wrap, and yeah, that was that. I know after my set, it was a long day. It was hot. Getting into Brooklyn was a while, and still pretty tired from the day before, so I wasn't gonna stay for the whole tape swap. And eventually Fiber and Discoholic, Montem, I guess the crew, you could say, showed up. And I know they had merch to run too. And I was kind of, at that point pretty tired, and I was wrapping up anyway, so I let them take my booth. And it seems like the whole other half of the night, and if you were there, let me know in the chat too. It seems like a whole nother party happened. I know George and the 100% Electronica crew ended up showing up at the tape swap, and it just seemed like all the sets that happened later that night too were really fun. Yeah, I think we left the tape swap at 6:30, if that, I think. And we drove back to Jersey, we got some food, and then passed out. That was the first day. That was the tape swap. And yeah, I hope there's a lot of footage of some of these sets, full set footage, because a lot of them were really, really good. And it would be cool to kind of see the ones that I didn't get to check out, because I was in the back running the Kats Kill Records booth for a while. yeah, it was a whole ass vibe, like just sitting in the back and seeing people I haven't seen in a while. And I ended up getting, I'll post a picture now on the screen, like I ended up getting a good amount of stuff. A lot of people gave me stuff, and thank you to anyone who gave me like a sticker or a cassette or anything. It really does mean the world. And I love just archiving physical media. You know me, like look at all this shit. Like, I love this stuff. So thank you for giving me some stuff to add to the collection. And yeah, a lot of love with that. But Friday ends, go home, eat whatever, go to sleep, and then wake up, get a banging breakfast. There's this really good breakfast spot by us in Jersey, so me, Ryan, and Tiff went there, and that's how we started the day. So we ended up getting into Queens around maybe like 2:30. We got there around like 2:30. Also found parking pretty close to the venue, which was nice too. And I'm never really in Queens. Like I'm either in Manhattan for work or Brooklyn to like see friends or go out or whatever. So I never go to Queens. Like back in the day, Shea Stadium was there. We used to go there all the time, but never anymore really. So the Knockdown Center was the venue, which was a fucking awesome venue. It was like, I've had this dream before. You ever have a dream of your old high school and no one's there and it's dark outside and like it's dark in the school too and it's just really empty and your high school felt like larger than it ever was? I don't know. I've had that dream before. That's what the Knockdown Center feels like. It's just this giant like a high school, just like the hallways just stretched open and like, I don't know, really cool spot to throw a festival. Definitely a really cool spot. The way they had it set up. There was 3 stages. There was the outdoor stage, the main stage, and the club stage. And RIP to everyone in the club stage. It was hot. It was a little sweaty in there. But some great sets ended up going on in there. Some I couldn't catch because they were just like packed to the gills with people. You would walk past the club stage, and this was the smallest room in the whole econ. And people were funneling out, like just trying to get in, and just like, you knew you weren't going to get in after a certain point. Like if you were 5 minutes late to a set or something, you weren't going to catch it. So I didn't get to see Lux. I kind of just watched from the outside for a little bit, but I could barely see anything. And it was the same thing with Desert Sand, and which was unfortunate because Desert was one of the artists I wanted to see the most at this thing. But let's start from the beginning before I just start going in a billion different directions, because that's what's going to end up happening. We get there, it's like 2:30, and we end up getting into the venue at like 3, like right on the dot. And I walked in, and the first thing we did, we went to the bar, got some drinks. So, got my tequila on the rocks. We were chilling, we were having a good time. Drinks were flowing, it was fun, like the vibe was building. It was sunny, it was just perfect day. And like, once again, just another flawless day for econ. The whole weekend was beautiful. And then Monday, it poured. I was like soaking wet at the Jet Cave. But George just got away with another great weekend for this thing. So yeah, beautiful weather out. And it was pretty, like the venue was very open. And I know it was early in the day, so there wasn't a ton of people there yet, but it was really spacious, which was nice, because I remember the first one got pretty packed in certain spots, and I knew George was saying there's like 2 or 3 times more people at this one than the first one had. So yeah, just seeing the venue, really big, really, really cool. Certain spots just were like decayed and old, and it was just awesome. Like, I don't know. Very cool. So I walk in, we get drinks, and then we go up the stairs and we go into the actual venue. We were by like the outdoor stage at first, and then we go into the venue, and there's all the merch there. There was so much stuff. Really cool Econ 3 shirts. I got the first one, which for this event, I actually cut the sleeves off because I knew it was going to be hot. And I remember going up to Christ, and he was like, you really fucking like cut the sleeves off of that? Like the original OG Econ shirt? And I was like, yeah, it's going to be hot out. And it was funny, my fiance, like, I was introducing her to everyone, and everybody knows, like, I wear that Christ cut off shirt like every other fucking day. I don't know what it is about that shirt. I must have cut the sleeves off in a way. It just like is the perfect tank top. So like Tiffany, like, you know, met Christ and was like, is this the guy, is this like the dude with the shirt that you wear all the time? And I was like, that's the dude. Christ was there, had a little booth, and Skylar Spence was there too, right next to Christ actually. So my whole thing was like, I'm gonna be responsible. I'm not gonna just drop a ton of money on merch. I was like, I'm here to have a good time. I don't need no merch. I got my Econ shirt from the first one, even though, you know, the new one looked pretty sweet. The Knuckles one, everyone was like going crazy over the Knuckles one. But there was the pink tie-dye Econ shirt. That was fresh as hell. I like that one. I get in line for Skylar Spence, and not to buy anything, I literally was just there just because I wanted to say hi. So saw Skylar Spence, he signed the back of my Econ shirt. And then at that point, like, people really started coming in. And then I saw, I mean, so many people that I've met online, like, that I've just never, you know, met in person. Runners Club 95, which was another set I'm going to get into. That was a act I was really excited to see. Just everyone started flowing in. We took this really great picture. I'm gonna try and remember off the top of my head everybody who's in it, but it was 3D Blast, Runners Club, St. Pepsi was there, St. Pepsi, Skylar Spence, whatever. Me, Agnar, Power PCME was there, Data Girl, Nano, who else was there? Zico from First Class Collective was there. And if I'm forgetting anybody else, I'm so sorry. But I think that was it. Groovy Kaiju was there too. And that was like, that picture was so perfect. Like the sun was just coming in and right at the perfect time. And yeah, it was really cool. Walked around a little up there. Dan Mason's set was on first. He was the first one on the club stage. And Dan kind of just, he gets really emotionally into it. I think that the big thing about Econ was a lot of people just, you know, Econ 1 and 2 happened so close, and there was all this energy building up, and then COVID happened, and we were all inside, and, you know, a lot of stuff built up for everybody. It's been a tough couple of years since, like, Econ 1, and just seeing Dan, like, kind of just let everything out and start the day off, I think it was the perfect choice for the first person to go up. And Vitesse X was on the main stage, like, halfway through his set. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think it's Vitesse X. And Vitesse started with this like meditation thing, which was kind of cool. And then got into just a really awesome, just clubby, techno-y, 2000s-y, like dance party. And that was really cool. And by this point, like things were really building up. A lot of people were coming in. I saw Andrew, I saw Fake Fever. Like Fake Fever's my dude. That is my homie right there. And seeing him is always great. So yeah, I bumped into him. I'm trying to remember everybody I bumped into. Somebody had a Chad Pennington backpack and I lost my shit. That was very cool. So you don't see a Chad Pennington backpack every once in a while, drawstring, whatever. So that was cool. Pacific Plaza Records I bumped into, which was cool. And then a lot of other people that I just know from like the Club Chennington Discord server. Kenneth, it was a pleasure meeting you. Malbert, once again, it was a pleasure. Ronan, like just so many people. It was awesome. And at this point, I would say like we're like 2 hours into the festival and Runners Club was about to come up. And I wanted to get to the front for Runners Club. I was not missing the set. This was one of the sets I wanted to see the most. The Runners Club 95 set at the block party event I did online a couple years ago was just breathtakingly beautiful, and I really wanted to see them perform in person, and I'm very happy that I got to the front. It was amazing. They, you could tell they were a little nervous at first, but everybody in the crowd was just very like welcoming and excited, and like, I don't know, it was cute. Like they, you know, they were trying to adjust, and but like after a minute, and I talked to them beforehand, I was like, don't be nervous, like you guys are gonna kill it. And they did. They absolutely killed it. Their set was amazing.
You all know this one.
Some new stuff. Of course, they played Good Time, and just it was a good time. I mean, that's what it was. For there, I was with like 3D Blast and a Hero, and then Quiz was there. Shout out to Quiz, and Quiz's friend, I think their name was Kevin, who was like a diehard Runners Club 95 fan, which is really cool. We eventually all got into the middle, and we were kind of going ham for Runners Club towards the end. So that was really, really good, and that's where I felt. Excuse me, that's where I felt like Econ really started for me, was the Runners Club set. Runners Club ends, and at that point I think I went to get food. The food truck situation, that was like the only bad thing about Econ. When we walked in, there was 2 food trucks, and I was like, how the hell are 2? I walked in, I was like, there's gotta be more food inside, and there wasn't. There was just 2 food trucks, and there really wasn't that much around in Queens. Like there was a McDonald's a half a mile away, I think. But I was like, how the hell are 2 food trucks gonna feed everybody? And towards the end of the night, like that line got pretty crazy. But luckily we got food early. And yeah, I think I got food around this time. And then, excuse me, and then went into the actual venue because DDS was playing and then Desert Sand was playing. So Desert was playing first. And my goal was to go to Desert, Sand Feels Warm at Night, watch his set, and then like with 10 minutes left, run to the DDS set and try and get as close as possible to the front. I walk in, and so the club stage is like to the right when you walk in, and the main stage is a little further down, and I just see the room is just packed, and I know I'm not getting into Desert Sand, so I was like, shit. So I like watched it from outside for a little bit. Dude had the keytar, just rocking it, and I was so curious to see how Desert would perform his sample-free Slush Wave live, and he did a great job. Like he played it slowed down, really, really good. So awesome visuals too, and the club stage had some really sick visuals. Like later on, I'll get into Vape Era set, and that was just fucking awesome. Like the visuals for that. So yeah, so I'm like hovering outside of the Desert Sand stage, or club room, whatever, and I know I'm not getting in. So DDS is like about to start preparing to go on. So then I was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. I told Tip, I was like, we're gonna build a giant group, and we're gonna go into DDS, into that crowd, and just go fucking ham the whole time. So yeah, we're gonna go just get a whole group of people. And I run into Quiz by like the bathroom area, and then I tell him about the idea, and he's like, cool, I'll meet you, over here in like 5 minutes. And I was like, all right, let me see how much people I can go get. Then I bumped into a Hero who was like, I wanted to go catch FM Skyline. And then he was like, fuck it, like we'll do DDS and I'll catch FM Skyline after. Then we got a Hero. Then I walked back to like the merch area, and we got 3D Blast and Power PCME and just like a whole bunch of people. Once again, I'm sorry if like I'm forgetting. Wizard of Loneliness was there. Malo 360 and Rail, iClick, like the whole group. So Will was there too, and I can't remember who else, but it had to be like 20 of us. Ghost was there, actually, for those who don't know, the one I was my favorite album of 2021. So Ghost was there. That was really cool. And we go into DDS. We get there. The crowd's already pretty packed. And we end up making our way to like the front-ish area. And I bump into my friend Brandon, who every time I'm doing a show or I'm at a show in the city, this dude is always there. So seeing him next to me was just kind of like, holy shit, here we go again. And a quick story before we get into the DDS set. At the first Electronicon, something I always talked about was the Death Dynamic Shroud set. And it was just like on this rooftop, and it was late at night, and everybody else was like downstairs for George Clanton at the time. And one of the things I remember about that set was before Death's Dynamic Shroud came on, Power PCME was on the other side of the stage, and I was on like all the way on the right side. And I just looked to the left and I saw Power PCME down there, and we just like nodded at each other because we knew it was about to go down. And this time around for Econ 3, I was right next to him, like we were side by side, and I was just like, I can't believe we're about to experience this together. And I mean, you already know what I'm about to say. Amazing. Holy shit! The Death Dynamic Shroud set was out of control. Let's like go from the beginning. It was packed, like tons of people. And I've seen Death Dynamic Shroud maybe like this has to be, and counting all the times I've played, like performed with them or with James, whatever, I've had to like experience DDS or some member of DDS at least like 6 or 7 times at this point. Like I've seen them a lot. There was never moshing at their shows or anything crazy like that. And people get pretty hyped at DDS shows, but it was never like crazy. And that crowd for the Econ 3, they should have made some shirts that said, I survived the Death Dynamic Shroud mosh pit. Just so much fun. I would have never thought like DDS would just have this crazy mosh pit, which their music, especially as of late, like some of the stuff coming out like off of Dark Life, you know, that's some moshing stuff right there. And I remember right before the first track, right before the drop, you just saw that pit open up, and I was like, here we fucking go, it's about to go down. And oh my God, it was just, everybody was just going crazy, and the sun was just coming through the windows at the perfect angle. And you know fucking like James Webster, that dude, he's like crying out, like grabbing the air, and Tech is like headbanging, and like they just look so majestic, and it's just fucking cool. Like that's the thing with DDS, and I've been saying it for so long, they're just fucking cool. And we are so lucky right now to experience these DDS sets because they're only gonna get bigger from here. It's to see them, you know, to do a show with DDS. I did a show with them last November at the Mercury Lounge in New York. And to see James play in Brooklyn, which was the last show I did, James was on the bill with me. It was right before everything happened with COVID, and there was maybe like 30 people there in this little crammed room. Now to see DDS performing with just like fucking smoke machines, and that crowd was huge. So there had to be, I don't know, at least 1,000 people in there. There had to be. Just, it was like a movie watching that set, and like how passionate James is and how into it Tech gets. And they played just hits. They played some lesser known stuff, and they played stuff off of Dark Life, new stuff. It was unbelievable. That was the most fun set of the day, in my opinion. Yeah, the DDS set was just amazing. So good. I remember it ending and just like going up to Power PCME and just hugging him and be like, I think I was just like, I love you, dude. I don't know, it was just so that was the thing. Like after the DDS hit, like so many people were just like embracing each other. Like we just like crossed into this like new world or something, and it was awesome. Like I remember walking out and I saw some of the people that were really responsible for like getting the hype going in the pit, and like I was just like pounding their chest. I was like, that's what's up. Like this is what we need, and it was just really, really good. It was just amazing energy, and I knew at that point that I was like, I was shot, and that took all the energy out of me. Because I was trying to wear a mask the whole time in the crowd, and I would just like I couldn't breathe after a while, and just it like exhausted me, that set. So that threw a wrench in all my plans, because I had the whole night planned out, like who I was gonna go see in what order. But now I was like, I just need to like relax for a little bit, just drink some water and hang out, I guess. And at that point we went outside, just saw some more people, and now it was really packed. Like place was bumping. The outdoor stage, it was pretty packed. I got to see the end of FM Skyline's set, which was cool, seeing Pete. Pete always kills it. So shout out FM Skyline. I love you, Pete. Always a pleasure seeing you too. And yeah, at that point I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do St. Pepsi, because I didn't see St. Pepsi at Econ 1, and then George Clanton, and then I'll chill for the end, which was Christ, Uniwa, and Groceries, which are like, those are my people. I love all of them. So that was the game plan, and it kind of just got all crazy because I was still pretty tired and I didn't like get around to the St. Pepsi stage, but I was inside, and Vape Era was going up, and it didn't look that packed at first. So it was right after Giant Claw. I caught the last track of Giant Claw. That set looked like fucking crazy. Like the things I've seen from the Giant Claw performance looked like rad as hell, and people were going pretty nuts for that. So I caught the last thing for that, and then Vape Era was going on, but the transition in between, there was a lot of people in the room, which was the first time for the club stage that I've seen it like that empty, and St. Pepsi was playing outside, so that's why. So I was like, you know what, maybe let me catch Jeff, let me see Vape Era. I'm in the front, let's do this instead. And no, nothing against St. Pepsi, I love Skylar Spence, but I'm happy I saw Vape Era because that was fucking awesome. He started off, they did like a city pop duo thing, and then it was just him solo. He played some bass. He climbed a fucking pole. Like he just, I don't know, it was wild. And I just got all this energy back, and I feel like I went like twice as hard as I did for DDS for the Vape Era set. And I was next to Young Shiro. Shout out to Young Shiro. And I saw a couple other people there, and that was really fun. So I saw Vape Era, and then after that, I was like, I think it was George Clanton was going to be on. So my fiance and I just kind of like hugged the fence like on the outside of the Clanton set, because I was really tired at that point. And my plan at that point was like to go in between George's set and then whoever was playing in the club room. So Uniwa was in there, so I was checking out Uni's set, and Christ was gonna be on, and Groceries was closing out the night, which was like, perfect touch to put Groceries there as the finale, kind of just put everyone to bed. And also, I heard there was a picture of me during the Christ set. I want to know what the fucking picture was. I'm so curious. People were telling me like, yo, you were in the like Crisis visuals or whatever. So I wish I was there for that. I would have went ham. But I love you, John. Like you are the best. So yeah, I was going back and forth between George's set, and I mean, George just, he knows how to work a crowd. Like, hovering over them and going in and dancing and crowd surfing and just that cool LED thing he does in the back. George really, I was like watching him from the side, and it really felt like he was I don't know. He was just taking all of it in, because I'm sure, I'm not sure I know these econs like just take so much out of him to plan all this stuff, and then to organize all this, like having all these artists come from all over the world, some who've never played live before. So you're kind of taking a risk in a way. You know, like some of these people have never performed live, so it's a lot, I'm sure. So I really do. I have so much love for George. Always been a big inspiration for me, how he runs his stuff and how he gets people together and, you know, puts the bullshit to the side and just does what he has to do to make things happen. And I really, you know, shout out to George. What else is there to say about George Clanton? He really, really rocks. And like watching him from afar, I felt like he was kind of soaking it all in, and he was just like tired and exhausted, but he just like gave it his all. Like he just threw his body into his set, and amazing. And like I said, I was kind of going in between, so I was jumping into uni while I was set. He had the Future Funk classics going, the bangers going. It was a good vibe. By the time George's set ended, I think Christ was still going on, and I was in and out for that set too. But we were pretty shot, and my buddy Ryan, who was doing photography for the event, was like, after George, I'm done. So our plan at that point was like, all right, let's just like bounce after that, like really tired. And then I had a whole nother day the next day at the Club Genki event, which I wanted to get there early and spend the whole day, because there's a lot of other people in that lineup as well. And I was already exhausted from the day before the tape swap. So I was like, all right, let's leave after George's set, let's get home, whatever. So I actually dropped Ryan off at JFK because he was flying back in the morning. So dropped him off there. By the time I ended up getting home, you know, we got food on the way home because we were so hungry. We ate the beginning of the econ pretty much. Didn't get home till like 2:33. By the time I took a shower and just, you still had so much energy, even though you were tired. I'm sure everybody went through this who was there. You had so much energy that night that like you just couldn't go to bed right away. So I didn't end up going to sleep. I don't think I ended up going to bed till like 5:36 in the morning. And I woke up the next day at like 8, I think, on Sunday. Or like 8:30, I don't even remember. I couldn't sleep, and I wanted to make sure I had all my stuff ready for the Club Genki set, and I knew I had a long trip into Brooklyn because Friday and Saturday I drove in, and then Sunday I was gonna take the bus in and then take the subway out of Port Authority to the Club Genki event. And that took forever. Like the third subway didn't even end up showing up, so I walked the last, I just walked, you know, from one subway stop to where the event was. It wasn't bad. It was like 15 or 20 blocks or something. But once again, like getting to the Club Genki event, it was packed. Like there were so many people there. Party was still going. And the Club Genki event was really cool because it was really small, the venue. It's just a bar. And the DJ booth is like hovering over the whole bar. It's a really cool spot. I definitely recommend going there. Yeah, 3D Blast was there, Christ was there. Shoji was there. Shoji was performing. Dolphin Uppercut. I'm trying to remember who else. I don't know. There's so many people I just forget. But yeah, it felt like everybody was soaking in these last moments we had, and it was great. It was beautiful. I got to talk to Frank Jaffsey there for a while, which was really nice. Frank is an awesome, awesome dude, and I never really got to talk to him before. I think every time I've seen him, we've just been in passing, or like he was doing something and I was doing something, or I was about to perform at a venue or something. Like I've never really sat and talked with him, and he's just like really, I don't know, he's really smart. Like he was telling me what he does, you know, with music and, you know, when he was making videos and all this stuff. And it was just great talking to Frank. So big shout out to Frank, who also killed it at the Club Genki show. Had the whole crowd going nuts. And then once again, it was me, 3D Blast, and Frank Jaffsey like lined up together, which I think is that's such a great move, because I really love those two dudes. Like I really appreciate their energy and who they are as people, and they're funny, and yeah, I'm honored to like play in between, you know, or around their sets as well. So we all performed back to back, and I went up there. It was so cool. Like where you were DJing from, it just hovers over everybody. It was a really cool setup. I felt like I was in like a tripod from War of the Worlds or something, or like Dr. Eggman. But I ended my set with Boom Boom Boom, and I fucking danced like an idiot. Like, sometimes I can't control myself. I get so into it, and then I see videos after, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, but it was popping. We were rocking. It was good. The vibe was there. Just so much fun. And then at that point, this is when it gets crazy. So across Brooklyn, like 30 minutes away, there was another event happening, Vapor Space. I think that was called Vapor Space, yeah. Ronnie throws it. So Ronnie throws a lot of events out in like St. Louis, and the bill they had for this event was awesome, and it was sold out. So I wasn't planning on going there because I knew it was sold out. And I was talking to Malo 360 and Monica, I don't know. It was funny, like you call people by their Twitter names or whatever. But so she's dating in Rail. And Rail was going on at 11:45. My set at Club Genki was 10:15 to 10:55. So y'all know me, Enrizi's my boy, and like I gotta go fucking party with Rail. So I was like, I wonder if there's a way I can get to that show and get in. And I never ever want to use like I'm Pad Chennington, let me in or some shit. Like never, I'll never do that. But I was texting Ronnie earlier today, and I was like, hey, listen, if anything comes up where someone like is selling a ticket or something like that, let me know, I will buy it on the spot. Oh, and also big shout out to Fantacat and Vape, who I was talking to at Club Genki. They were both there. They were saying they had an extra ticket potentially, so they were like, you know, if you need one, you know, message me when you get there, I'll try and get you in. So big shout out to those two. And yeah, I texted Ronnie, I was like, hey, you know, if you got a ticket, I'll buy it, whatever it is. And my set ended. So my set ends at like 10:55, whatever. And a couple of us take an Uber to Vapor Space. And at this point, I don't think I was like 100% confirmed that I had a ticket yet. But I got there, and Ronnie was like, oh, I put you on the guest list. And I was just like, I think I gave him like the biggest hug, and I was just like, I fucking gave him, because I didn't know if I was definitely gonna get in. And this venue, it was called Purgatory, I think, was so cool looking. I got in there, and Vape Era set was wrapping up. And so much hype, like, he like kind of broke down after a set. it was just beautiful, and it was a lot of fun. The crowd for the Purgatory show, the Vaporspace show, was so good. We all rocked. There was so much energy there, and right after that was iClick. So it's Enrail, it's the duo, it's Will and Nathan, and iClick is there. I always say that whatever Enrail's doing and iClick, they got it. Like they know what they're doing. They got a good vibe, and I really know that if they just continue with whatever energy they got, I don't know. I think they're really good, and I really think they're gonna just get really big from this point. I've always said that, and seeing them at Vaporspace was unbelievable. That was such a good fucking set. It was amazing.
I love you!
We crowd surfed, like everybody crowd surfed, everybody moshed.
Hey, 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 hey.
It was just, oh my God, like looking back at it now, I'm still sore from it. Like my fingers hurt somehow. Like I don't know why my fingers hurt, but like I'm just so sore from that set, and it was amazing. They played absolute bangers, new stuff, stuff from their recent album. They played like, they played Limp Bizkit. Like it was just fucking crazy. I don't know. It was just a crazy. Crazy set, and it was amazing. And that was pretty much the end of the night for me. We just kind of rocked out there, and I just said bye to everybody who was there because I had to go to work in the morning. I had to be back in the city. So it was just a crazy weekend. I did not end up getting home till, I want to say like 3-ish, 3:30. And then by the time I showered, by the time I fell asleep, I slept, I think, a half an hour or something, or like an hour tops before I had to get up for work. And that day of work was brutal. But I had tickets to the Jet game after work. So the Jets were playing the Falcons at 8 o'clock. I get out of work at 6. Me and Tiff just get down to MetLife, and it was a fucking amazing football game. Like they came all the way back if anybody watched it. And since it was preseason, you could kind of just sneak up to the front. We got all the way to the first row behind the goalpost, and oh my God, like just so much fun. Went ham again, and then after that, just got home and I was like, okay, I'm going to hibernate. I'm going to sleep forever now, which I did, and it was nice. And that pretty much concludes the weekend. And I guess just to wrap it up and just to look back on it, like I keep saying, it's just, I think everybody needed this a lot. I think I could just talk from my experience, like losing my dad this year and my uncle a couple months ago. It's been a very tough year for me. And ever since COVID happened, like there was so much energy building up in the scene. And I can only talk from experience as well. I did 7 shows in the beginning of 2022. I would have never thought I would have performed that many times. So there was so much energy building up, and then COVID happened and just everything dropped. And like the URL shows were great. They always are. I still love those damn URL shows. I will do another online show soon, another big one. But obviously, you know, it wasn't it wasn't the same. Like, we just had so much fun at Econ a couple months before, and I was doing all these shows in the city, and Essential, if everybody remembers that, was that big Future Funk show in Toronto. I'd never been to Canada, and that was planned, and that was gonna be a lot of fun. So COVID came around and it like wiped out a lot of stuff. And just the past 2 years were really tough for me. So going to Econ and just seeing everybody, all these people that I really do look up to. I never, as a YouTuber or whatever, I never want to come off as like someone who thinks they're like hot shit or whatever. And I really hope I don't ever do that, because I can know, like, from the bottom of my heart, I really am the same fan of all of you guys and all of your music as I was when I started this shit. Like, I am the same exact person. A lot of people say like they change, you know, they become this, and like I'm seriously the same fucking person as when I started this channel. Like, I'm a fan. That's it. I'm a fan, and I really look up to everybody that I talk about on this channel, and everybody, you know, going to these shows and seeing these sets and how much passion they put into these things, and they all deserve so many more listens. And that's the number one goal of my channel, will always be to just have a platform that I can share music that you already love, you just don't know about it yet. And I'm just very thankful to have made like a lot of friends in the scene, and just to experience these amazing moments of just music and collaboration and just laughs and like good hugs. Like, some people in the Vaporwave scene give some damn good hugs. Like James Webster, I gotta say, gives like the best hugs. When James sees you, like when I saw James at the tape swap on Friday from across the room, he just makes you feel like you are like the greatest person on planet Earth. He just like, he embraces you for that hug, and it's just the best. I don't know. So yeah, it was amazing. I said on Twitter when I was gonna do this video, if you can, just like drop photos or videos of the event, because I just want to just show it the whole time. And I'm sure in this video I'll have a bunch of stuff pop up. If I didn't get to your stuff, I'm sorry. Like, a lot of people commented, and thank you for all the footage and photos and stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you were there, you know like how special it was and how much we all needed it, and how important community is. And we are on this planet to collaborate with one another and just be friends with everybody that you can be a friend with, and love one another. And that's the most important thing. It's beyond the music, it's beyond the merch, it's beyond all that shit. It's like just having great times with people and just celebrating life and being a human being. And that's what this was. So I'm very thankful to have so many friends in the scene, and to be able to perform and DJ, and just, yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and I wish we could do it again. I know like a lot of people were there, just like that post-festival, you know, vibe is just killer. And it is like, it's just, you go back to real life. Like I went back to work, and that's it. I got work in the morning, but I'm going to be premiering this on Sunday. So yeah, I still will have work in the morning. I'm filming this on, today's Wednesday, so you'll be seeing this in a couple days. But yeah, I don't know, just so much fun. You never know if there's ever gonna be another one. Like Econ 1 and 2 happened so fast, and then COVID happened, and it was years until the next one, and you don't know what's gonna happen in the scene. And but I know that like, the thing about Econ 2 is a lot of people just get so motivated after these events and just put on a lot of shows. That's what happened after the first one. And I think we're gonna see that again. Like, I know I'm already working on a bunch of stuff. I know a lot of people who are working on stuff. That was the thing too, it was like, after, you know, seeing people, and when you were leaving, you were just like, listen, we gotta talk, let's work on some stuff, whatever. So just a lot of good things are gonna come out. It's a lot of good energy. But yeah, let me know in the chat, what was your favorite set if you were there? Have you seen any footage online? I know Vapor Memory, shout out to Vapor Memory, always a pleasure seeing you, buddy. Uploaded a bunch of sets. They live streamed some stuff, so definitely go there if you want to see some of the sets. I know Luxury Elite was on there. I think George Clanton, they got the DDS set. The Desert Sand set was on there. So yeah, just, it was a great time. And thank you for chilling with me on this Sunday night and watching this stream and just hearing me talk. I don't know, it's hard to give justice with words like how special the weekend was, and I'm sure I'm missing things and people that I met and saw, but I don't know, just like the first one, we're gonna be talking about this forever. So yeah, great time. And just, you gotta love life, you gotta live life, you have to let people know you love them, and I don't know, like you get all deep after these events. It's like, it's just so important to just embrace those you love and be with your friends and reach out to people and see people, and just, I don't know. It was awesome. It was really, really fun. And I can't wait till the next one. So yeah, let me know in the chat what was your favorite set. If not, if you're watching this after the premiere, let me know in the comments who you'd want to see in the future, where you'd want the next Electronicon to be. Just let me know. And that's all I got. So yeah, if I saw you this weekend, I miss you already. And until next time, much love, your boy, Pad Chennington.